we were in Paris.
Okay.
We were in Paris, France, doing all kinds of stuff. And he just gave you a little taste of what happened. But one of the things that we did was we went to Disneyland Paris. We obviously, everyone had a lot of work to do.
Disneyland pimp fashion.
Yeah. Parisian pimps.
You were obligated to go.
Parisian pimps.
I don't know why that's funny. It's an official term. But anyway, no. So we did that.
You pulled some French wool or what?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, I bought French wool. I got a knit cap.
You did?
Oh,
it was cold there.
A beret, huh?
Yeah.
I think I was the only one the
entire
time I was there that was wearing shorts. I wore shorts everywhere. I did
Sounds
not dress
Yeah, you
any
know why?
different.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, but let me mention it was snowing.
Oh, it was?
So the fact that he's making it sound like everybody else is fucking weird.
Was it not cold?
Let me just reiterate, it was snowing.
I enjoy. Hey, as long as I'm not dying, I don't mind the cold.
Hey, you are a Parisian pimp.
Respect.
I was dying. I died.
Wow.
So
Derrick's a mere ghost.
Oh, Fart Priest 69 says it's all the blubber. Thanks, Fart Priest 69. Anyway,
fuck. Such a brutal comment.
Thank you to the Brad Pitt-esque Fart Priest 69.
What do you expect?
God.
You want to make him feel bad on purpose? Why would you say that?
Hey,
shame on you.
Fart Priest 69. Send me a picture. I just want to see it.
Hey, he says he's sorry.
No, it's fine. I really don't care. Anyway.
Jeez.
He didn't know you would see it.
Hey, you know what? Don't write mean shit if you don't want us to comment on it.
No, it's fine. It's good. So,
good, call him out. Good job.
Podcast question of the week. I want to throw this out there. Is this funny?
No. Yes or no?
I think it's going to... Okay. Derrick and I were very... It was just the time zones and all that.
Hey, the answer is yes. This is funny.
And the time zones and all that, our sleep was so messed up during this trip. So we're going and doing stuff during the day when we should actually be sleeping, and it was just all whatever. So maybe things were funnier that shouldn't have been that funny.
Sleep deprivation.
But for some reason, we tried to find Sean a cool shirt at Disneyland Paris. They did not have any. They had one. They had all these distortions of letters on it. It said something about Mickey and then French, but it was all distorted, going in different zigzags. And it looked like it said, Mickey knows how to suck it. I don't know why, but
Rocco was looking around being like, I need to find Sean a cool shirt, but none of these are specific to Euro Disney. And I looked at the shirt and I said, well, here's a shirt that looks like it says Mickey knows how to suck it. If you want to get that.
For some reason,
why didn't you buy it?
For some reason, then I added to it. I said, yeah. When we left the store, I was like, well, should we go back and get him that shirt that said Mickey knows how to suck it?
All day, we were just joking about giving Sean a shirt, or we just kept saying, yeah, Sean, we were going to get you a shirt, but the only one we could find said Mickey knows how to suck it. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. And then I added onto it, yeah, and on the back it said, and he does it well? I don't know why I said that. Derrick and I laughed about that for like 4 hours.
That shirt doesn't exist. That's not a real shirt. But all day we were like, why do they have a shirt that says Mickey knows how to suck it?
They should make that shirt.
Does it well?
He does it well?
I don't know why, but that we were laughing. It never stopped.
That should be our Game Days 2013 shirt.
Yeah. Mickey knows
how to suck it, and he does it well.
Rocco was just going, I feel like this is like Michael Jackson is bad, and he lets me know it.
Yeah.
And then he would just sit there and go, Mickey Mouse knows how to suck it. And he does it well.
I pictured two Americans going around this park where most people don't speak English.
Rocco?
And you are giggling and saying this joke to each other.
There's an even better story.
Better story for that.
This story, it was just like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
We went. My turn. We went and got lunch.
His turn.
We went and got lunch at this American-themed restaurant where they sell, like, barbecue and, French fries, typical American food. It's like a hoedown. Like, they had a barn and there was a band with fiddle player.
Is it like the Woody's Roundup they have by the Big Thunder Mountain, you know what I'm talking about?
It was in a big barn.
It was in a big barn.
Okay,
it was
yeah.
called I think it was called like the Cottonwood Country Cafe or whatever.
Okay.
Anyways, they had a band start playing music so they could do a hoedown, and they're all wearing straw hats and overalls and plaid shirts. And they get on their instruments, they start playing a fiddle, and they start playing country music, but it's all in French.
Oh,
That's
wow.
so gross.
They're
That's fucking
they're singing
weird.
country songs in French, and then all right, sing. Merci, bonjour, thank you for listening to French music. The next song, and they start playing "Ring of Fire."
Oh,
They're
wow.
just like,
It was in French.
wow, this is an experience, and they start singing it in French. "Ring of Fire" in French, and we're like, wow, that's they're trying. They're playing that country music. It'd be cool, What'd be great? If they played some real American music. And just the thought of real American music, we don't even say anything to each other. Rocco and I just start humming to each other. I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. But then they're like, well, they'd be singing it in French, so what would that be? I don't know. It'd be like, Je suis, I don't know. Well, in German, it would be, Ich bin ein real Amerikanischen. And Rocco's like, yeah, well, I can sing it in Spanish, which is, I don't even know what the
Yo soy un Mexican. It was
Yeah. Then we realized that there is like a group of French people like sharing the table with us, and they're just all like staring at us like,
they're trying hard not to crack up.
who the fuck are these Americans singing
Can
that
you-
they're real Americans
Can you imagine?
in Euro Disney?
Any American restaurant.
This is the look they were giving us, which is just like, do you know where you are? Shut the fuck up.
We were seriously just at the end of this table. I am a real man.
Literally going like this.
Yeah, we were doing that. Fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American. They are like, and they were like our age, and just like looking at us like.
Can you imagine if we saw that, though? Like,
Yeah, I know.
What
I'd
would
be
we
cracking
do?
up.
These fucking
These
French
French assholes
singing.
saying that.
So another thing, though, that was another one of those things where maybe this is just funny because I'm tired, but they were singing Johnny Cash in French. Like, what is this, Johnny Cash? And I said, Johnny Euro. And hey, that went on 10 minutes. That was just funny.
That's good. That's a good little play.
That was just me. I don't even think Derek was laughing at that. I was just going, hey, Johnny Euro.
You're missing me.
Yeah, like that.
Like if Sean was fucking here for this one joke.
On a euro.
But anyway, so that was that. But yeah, Disneyland Paris was great. I had a lot of fun there. Their Tomorrowland is not called Tomorrowland. It's called Discoveryland. And it's a good thing it's not called Tomorrowland. There was nothing tomorrow
Yeah.
about any of it.
They should change it to Discover the Past Land.
It was, everything there was either,
You described it as like 1984.
it was 1986 land,
Yeah.
and Jules Verne.
No,
Anything was one of them.
it's the Star Tours is the original Star Tours from 1987. So you go in there and it feels like it's straight out of the 80s. And then they have Captain EO, not a tribute.
Yeah, it is not left.
It is the original Captain EO
Yeah.
from 1986.
Did they dub it in French?
The opening narration.
No.
When at the very beginning, when it's like it tells you the name
There's
of
a-
it,
yeah.
that's it. But no, otherwise it was totally,
Really?
totally
So it
different.
wasn't
And
tribute. It
and
was
then-
the original.
But the rest of the Discovery Zone in Euro Disney is Jules Verne themed, which is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is all like 1800s esque. So literally everything from the Euro Disney version of Tomorrowland is from the past. It's either the 80s or way beyond 200 years ago.
But the park itself was really, really cool. The detail is not quite there as it is at Disneyland in California. The animatronics don't look as good on rides. We rode on the train and you see the parking lot.
Yeah, you said
And
stuff was kind of
there's
dirty.
like staff hanging out there, whatever. Yeah, just things like that. Yeah, and again, even going back to the Star Tours, that thing hadn't been touched. It was yellow.
The plastic is yellowed. I love that.
My opinion of Euro Disneyland, for me, it's hard to say which is better, regular Disneyland or Euro Disneyland, because they both excel and fail in different aspects.
Yes, yeah.
Everything in Euro Disneyland is at least 1/3 bigger
Yeah.
than it is in
Yeah.
regular Disneyland.
Yeah.
The castle's bigger, the buildings on Main Street USA are bigger.
Haunted Mansion's big?
The Haunted Mansion
yeah.
the Haunted Mansion's bigger, scarier. It's on a big old.
Yeah.
It looks like the Bates Motel. It's
That's
on a giant
rad.
hill.
That's cool.
Pirates of the Caribbean is bigger. You go into like a huge fort when you're waiting in line.
Yeah.
The line for Pirates of the Caribbean in America is pretty short, actually. They corral you in a little outdoor kind of a patio, and then you go right in and get on the ride. But in Euro Disneyland, you're corralled, and then you go into a fort, and then you're going through like a prison area of the fort,
Yeah,
and
it's like a dungeon.
They have a dungeon, they have cannons set up, and then you come out into like an outdoors area. It's fake, it's indoors, but it's made to look like you're outdoors. And then when you ride Pirates of the Caribbean, it's almost like all backwards. Like
It was, yeah.
you go up a waterfall at the beginning of a ride, and you come out into a battle, and then you go through this whole city where everything's being burned down and ravaged, and then from the city you go into a cave, and the cave is full of skeletons and
weird.
jewelry, and at the end of the cave there's like Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Yeah, that's
And
the
then-
last thing.
And then
Oh,
you
wow.
take a drop, and then you're done.
That kind of makes more
It kind
sense
of makes
that
way more sense.
Because
Yeah.
the original Disneyland ride is meant to be a story told backwards.
You're
Right.
going back in time.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, here's the cursed tale of how these men all ended up,
get that,
and
too.
here's how it happened. And it ends with them getting the treasure at the end.
Yeah.
And then, in Europe, they were like, no, let's just, you died with them.
sense.
That's
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Huh.
But anyway.
Yeah, and the Haunted Mansion is a lot scarier.
Yeah, it's so a mining town. A woman is waiting for someone to come back to be married, or to marry them.
Her husband.
Her
I know.
husband,
Fiance.
and the mining town collapses, and he never comes back. So what's cool is the first half of the ride is pretty similar to ours, way bigger, but the bride is in every single part, just following you around,
That's
and
cool.
that was really cool, and especially
That is cool.
the Haunted Mansion music. She's like doing this kind of operatic singing along with it. That was really creepy.
Is it all in French?
Also,
It would split. There'd be most of it was in French, but every now and
there's
then there'd
one
be a
part in the
line.
Haunted Mansion where I think all it says is like, "Hey, we're lowering that bar. Don't put your hands
Yeah.
in the way."
That's
It's
in
Spanish, and it's way scarier in Spanish than it
Yeah,
is in
yeah.
English. If the whole ride was in French,
here's,
it'd be
this
creepy.
is what's funny, and I think this kind of illustrates the difference between Euro Disneyland and regular Disneyland. In Euro Disneyland, the Haunted Mansion is scarier, and there's a lot of details like, whoa, this is spookier. Wow, this has a lot more detail than regular Disneyland. But when we got into our Doom buggy, Rocco goes, I wonder if they're going to lower the bar for you like they do in regular Disneyland. And we're moving down, right about to go into the main part of the ride, and they have a guy standing there who sticks his arm out and lowers the
guy
bar
just
for
goes-
Are you
you.
serious?
So it's like, yeah, they do lower the bar for you manually.
Oh,
by
wow.
hand.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's a perfect example though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That little detail. It's like, oh, they didn't just
It's like
have
the
it.
ghosts don't do it. They do it
Right.
for you, but it's just a guy.
Huh.
But I was going to say about Phantom Manor, what they call it, one thing that I thought was cool is they have a ghost in Phantom Manor that is it's a big gray skeleton with a giant top hat and like a big cape with a collar that is popped out like this.
Yeah.
And this is such a cool touch. They never explain who this ghost is, but he is always laughing and is reoccurring all throughout the manor, just laughing at you. The whole time.
Really?
And, like, when you watch it a second time and you notice, you notice him in more places than you did the first time. Like, the guy hangs himself in the beginning of the ride, that laughing ghost is holding the rope.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And that's
Yeah.
it. He's just in the corner, like, holding onto the rope, just laughing. And
Whoa.
when you ride it a second time, you're just like, I didn't notice that guy the first time.
Everywhere.
What's he laughing at?
Yeah.
And it's just subtly creepy like that. Like, there's no explanation, but I don't like that guy. Why is he laughing?
The theme of that ride, I said this before, but the theme of that ride in Europe is what's the joke? Because every time you go around, oh, he's hanging that guy. What's the joke? You'd be waiting for gags to happen. You go into this room. It's a big room with the bride just crying over her vanity. And you're waiting for a gag. Like, she'll turn around and something or whatever. No, you're just going around this woman crying.
It's just creepy.
And then you go into the next thing. They lower you into the mine that collapsed, and there's just rotted skeletons reaching for you. And you're going, what's the joke? They're
literally
they
just going like
suffered. What's the joke? But then it kind of brings some levity back though, because when you go out of the mine, then it's like almost like it's like Old West saloons with
Yeah,
people
you got
rotting
like
in
an
them.
Old West town.
And the best one to me, the best ghost in the whole thing is there is one rotting ghost that is just a bandit with a gun, just shooting at you, whatever. I know I made it sound really cool just now, but I guess he's having a duel with somebody. But I liked it better when he was shooting.
Do they have the dueling portraits?
No,
No.
I don't think that was in
Actually, yeah, they No.
That always reminds me
That
of
room was there, and it had a lot of similar
Yeah.
stuff, but specifically the dueling portraits, I don't think.
Whenever I see the dueling portraits when I ride the Haunted Mansion
Yeah.
at our Disneyland, I always think of that Got Milk commercial from the 90s
Aaron
with
Burr.
Aaron Burr.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Because it was the
Go
two,
milk.
it was the guy with the two paintings in the same room with them, and I always think about that.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Michael Bay directed that commercial.
I think I
Really?
heard that too. I think I heard that too.
I used to love
Famous
those commercials.
commercial.
Those Got Milk commercials used to be fantastic.
Well, now I'm all about God Sand.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah,
go to the dunes.
yeah.
I go to
dude,
Glamis.
Euro Disneyland was cool. Last thing I want to say about Euro Disneyland, underneath the castle,
Yeah, this is the best detail. I think.
the
This
castle
sounds cool.
is bigger, and it's built on a hill that has like square hedge, like Alice in Wonderland trees. So it just
Yeah.
looks really cool. Then there's a cave that you can explore under the castle that goes into a waterfall, and there's like a slumbering dragon in this cave. It's like 16 feet long. It's animatronic, so it like lifts his head up and like looks around and like puffs out smoke and breathes smoke
wow.
on everybody, and then it's just really cool.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is what Disneyland Paris encourages. What I think the one thing I think it has over the other parks, there is so much discovery and exploration stuff. Is that a door under the castle? Whoa, there's a dragon
Yeah,
in
the
here.
castle's like
Hey,
3 stories.
What's this metal staircase in Tomorrowland, or Discoveryland? Let's go down there.
You can go out onto the second story of the castle, like outside, onto like the balcony of the castle, and just like look down over all the people in Fantasyland.
Yeah, like you're in Discoveryland, you go down an unlabeled staircase, and you're in Captain Nemo's lab.
Yeah, you like right.
And
the
there's a
Nautilus.
squid in the window outside, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Whoa! You just discovered this stuff." That was really cool. That sounds really, really neat. I wouldn't say the place is better than Disneyland, but it excelled in different
That's the
ways.
thing. I said it excelled in some ways and failed in others.
Exactly, yeah.
It excels in all the little details and stuff to explore, but it fails in the fact that when you actually ride the rides, the animatronics don't look as human.
Yeah, there's a level of charm
And
that's missing.
Disneyland in California and America goes out of its way to never break the magic. It never
Yeah.
breaks
Exactly.
the fourth wall.
Yes.
You can never see any part of Anaheim from inside Disneyland, and you can never see behind the scenes or backstage any part of Disneyland. But like Rocco said, we rode the train around Euro Disneyland, and it took us through the staff parking lot at one point.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
and
weird.
it was just.
and
Why would you plan it
Doors
like that?
were left open, and you could just see like long shafts of like
Hallways.
sweeping,
Yeah.
like cleaning equipment.
when we
and
were
just
up on the
hallways
when
and
we were
stuff.
up on the castle, we were looking at all this equipment.
Yeah,
It was
like,
like okay,
lighting boxes and like extension cords and
Oh, wow.
plugs and like electrical equipment. You can see behind the scenes everywhere in Euro Disney. They don't stress to hide that stuff from you. But the actual presentation is very cool.
yeah.
Rocco, you've been to Disneyland, Euro Disney, Tokyo Disney,
Disney Sea.
Yes,
What else is there?
Disney World.
Disney
That's
World,
it?
which I've been
Besides
to.
that?
I think Shanghai.
It's
I don't
coming.
think is open.
But they're
There
building it.
was something there before. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the last stop, and then you've
So
done
I guess I gotta go,
True pimp fashion.
Respect.
and then I'll pimping all over the world. Check that
Disney
out.
World is Elder God
Check it out.
tier.
Check it out.
Technically, Disney World is
Check it out,
not
guys.
Elder God tier. Disneyland is Elder God tier.
Yeah, exactly.
Dis-
That's
Elder God?
Disney
Well-
World is New Fag tier.
There you have it.
Oh.
Speaking of
Jeez.
God tier for your butt, SumoLounge.com. Thank you once again.
This is a comfy
I
seat.
want to take a second. I know it has nothing to do with Europe or Disney or anything like that, but the fact of the matter is, I wouldn't have even come home had I not known that this is going to touch my butt. SumoLounge.com. Back in the game. We got their chairs back on the podcast. Thank God. We were missing
yeah,
them.
Fuck that other couch,
We
dude.
were missing them. They were a very, sorrowful
Hey,
year.
I rode the plane from Europe to America. It was 11 hours. Why can't they get a plane full of sumos? It would feel like 1 hour.
Exactly.
Because you would just fall asleep the whole time.
Because you would.
Exactly.
comfortable.
Come on, and we are going to confirm with Delta later. They will put sumos on the plane.
That'd be
And we're
cool.
We're going to make them say it on the live podcast, or something's going to happen.
There you go.
Anyway, okay. So yeah. Anyway, we had a great time, and also on our last day in Paris, we saw the Louvre.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
want to
or
say,
something,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Ew.
whatever. It's it seems whatever to say that it was life changing, but it was like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Okay, all I want to say is I went to the Louvre. I walked around for like 5 fucking hours. No Banksy. Not a single one.
They didn't have any Banksy?
Not
Yeah,
a
that's
fucking
true.
single
That's true.
one.
That's
Also,
dumb.
okay, not only no Banksies, not a single Obey image. I did not see one
No
Andre the
Shepherd Fairey?
Giant. No, I didn't see any fucking Stussies, and nobody in the Louvre knew what Gongan style was.
Yeah, I was gonna
And,
say.
and I literally,
No.
I literally sang it in every room
Did
I
you
walked
dance
into.
too, so they knew?
I said, "Hey, all the paintings!" Whoa, 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 whoa! And the French,
Nothing?
no response.
Wow.
So
That's
I had
rude.
To, so I had to
That's
step.
rude.
So I had to step up and say, Spartan High School style. But yeah, nobody at the whole gallery knew who Akira Toriyama was. So that was bullshit.
It was fucking bullshit. I said, "Where is the painting of
Sounds
Goku?"
like a waste of a day.
And they looked at me like I was an idiot. You can you can bring your Nintendo 3DS to the Louvre and
Yeah.
like photograph the pictures on it, and it'll like give you information.
You actually could.
you serious?
Yeah, it had a guide to every
yeah,
room.
yeah,
Map.
Whoa.
yeah.
You could rent them at the counter too.
So where's the fucking Goku painting? What you can't pick and choose what part of Japanese culture you put in the Louvre.
Yeah.
Why is the Nintendo in there? But
Yeah, why is
DDZ
Goku
isn't?
not being properly represented? That's
Oh, okay, and
that's
all I
a
want to
bit
say.
racist of the
Last
Louvre.
thing I want to say about the Louvre.
It is.
This is all I'm going to say because it has nothing to do with video games. Aka, not important, but I will say this. The Louvre has a section of paintings that were painted. They were painted about people who were in the Louvre looking at paintings. Because the museum is so old,
It had a.
it's been around
exhibit.
for like 200 or 300 years, that for the past 200 or 300 years, painters would go there and paint people looking at the paintings. So, one day, there may be a painting of us in the Louvre looking at the paintings of the Louvre.
people looking.
So, if any famous artists out there want to get started on that,
Yeah, do that
Well,
and submit it.
you were already there though. Would you have to go back?
No, they already got the
we
image,
were already there.
probably.
We filmed videos in the Louvre that we're
They
going
could just compile that.
we're
probably.
going to upload those to the internet. Maybe they'll just play those in the Louvre. I hope they have Wi-Fi.
That'd be
That
cool.
makes sense. That is the new form of art. So I think that does.
I hope they have
lend itself
Wi-Fi.
to the Louvre.
There, probably in the next 1,000 years, you're going to see Ray William Johnson at the Louvre.
You should request now a spot next to the Mona Lisa because the slots might fill up, and you don't want Ray William Johnson getting in there before you.
Yo, the
Yeah,
Mona
that's
Lisa is boring. What's so
Hey,
interesting about
but
it?
was she smiling? Do you think?
No,
No.
I think she was frowning and I turned it upside down.
All right. That's
I don't know how they did it.
a lot of conspiracies running around about that. But
Real work of art.
that's
Speaking of the art that we made,
I saw a mummy.
yeah,
which one? The Mummy Returns
I
or
don't fucking
Scorpion
care.
Scorpion
King?
King? I saw Scorpion King.
What? Yeah,
I didn't like it.
The Rock is in that movie.
I-
This
like
thing looked way weaker than The Rock. If this mummy got into
Yeah.
a fight with The Rock, fucking Rock bottom in 2 seconds.
Hey, Scorpion King was a hell of a movie, though.
Oh, I didn't like it.
Really?
No, I didn't
What about
like
you,
it.
Derek?
I loved it. Anyways, video games.
And there's your segue of the podcast.
what an amazing.
Whoa!
Hold on,
How did we get here?
we're getting off topic. Let me just recap the conversation.
Who's he, Jake?
I love the Scorpion King. Did you, Derek? Anyway, video games.
No, I said I loved it. Anyways, video games.
Anyway,
I love the Scorpion King.
so we filmed.
It's a hell of a movie.
We are